We open with Moiraine wielding Sakarnan. She puts on quite the light show. After a spell, she collapses in Lan's arms, simultaneously drained and euphoric. Even Lan describes the sensation as euphoric, but it also elicits a deep hunger and thirst. Lan wants to know what Moiraine saw in the rings in Ruidian. She doesn't respond. Later, Rand, Egwene, Moiraine, Lan, Bear, Melaine, Aviendha, and Ruark are on the move. Egwene asks Bear and Melaine if the other clan chiefs will declare Rand as the Kara Karn. Bear reveals they only communicate with the clan's wise ones in the dream. However, they'll urge their chiefs to meet Rand at Alcair Dal. Unfortunately, Sivana and Couladin of the Shaido rejected Rand as the Kara Karn. Aviendha remarks that their rejection is unsurprising, though. She still doesn't see Rand as one of the Aiel. Bear orders her to stay with Rand 24/7 to teach him their ways. It's part of her training to become a wise one. Then, the crew arrives at Cold Rock's Hold, the seat of the Tardad clan. In the village, they meet Ruark's other wife, Lian. They also meet Ruark's great daughter, Alcera. Alcera approaches Rand and asks him point blank if he's the Kara Karn. Rand shows her his sick dragon tattoos. Then, he plays with Alcera and the other clan kids. Bear urges Egwene to join her and Melaine as they walk the dream. Then, in the White Tower, Siuan reads a letter and smiles. She sniffs it. Is this an old letter from Moiraine? I think so. Aleida marches into Siuan's quarters. She ridicules the styling of it. I didn't know Aleida was moonlighting as an interior designer. Aleida finally stops beating around the bush to reveal why she's there. She's calling for a vote in the hall to cage the dragon reborn. Siuan smoothly fires back that Aleida surely has a better handle on hall proceedings now than the last time the two duked it out there. Someone get Aleida some aloe vera for that burn. Meanwhile, Verin gives her sister, Adelius, tea. Siuan and Lean pay them a visit. Verin relays intel about the Black Ajah. They run in groups of 3, called hearts. Each member harbors one separate contact in another heart to prevent them from revealing them all. However, Liandrin was connected to 4 hearts. That means there are at least 12 members, and since 11 attacked the White Tower that fateful day, that means at least one unknown member remains. Next, Siuan reveals she wants to know if Aleida is of the Black Ajah. The trio decides to lure her to the 13th depository, where Joya and Amiko are being held. In Emmons Field, Alana and Maxim adjust to their new surroundings. Maxim tries to persuade Alana to venture off to greener pastures. Why are they in the 2 rivers to begin with? File, Bane, and Chiad return from scouring the surrounding area to reveal where Natty Cawthon and her daughters are. She tells Perrin that they should rescue them from the White Cloaks that night. Meanwhile, in Cold Rock's Hold, our visitors enjoy Aiel cuisine. Melindra feeds Lan a delicacy that literally bites your throat upon swallowing. Lovely. Aviendha tries to school Rand on Aiel's social interactions. As for Egwene, she joins the Wise Ones for her first sojourn into Tel'aran'rhiod. Bear informs her that anyone can touch Tel'aran'rhiod, but few can enter it. Channelers and non-channelers alike can possess the skill of dreamwalking. Also, death in the dream means death on the physical plane. Melaine reveals that Egwene will know it's time to return when the brass pin drops. Once in Tel'aran'rhiod, Melaine and Bear tell Egwene that she must control her thoughts. Suddenly, armor materializes on Egwene's body because she feels unsafe. Egwene seizes hold of her thoughts to restore her clothing. Bear adds that the woman who stalks Egwene's dreams can be expelled from them. If Egwene believes the woman doesn't belong there, well, she doesn't belong there. Then, Egwene winds up in a marketplace that resembles Tar Valon. However, she's not alone. Lanfear appears. She lifts Egwene in the air by the throat. Thankfully, Egwene returns to the physical plane where Bear and Melaine await her. They realize she's being stalked by a Forsaken, or as the Aiel call them, the Shadow-Souled. Later, Aleida tries to enlist Alviren as an ally. Alviren normally supports Siuan's decisions, but that's because Siuan has exercised logic. The White Ajah is all about the truth. Aleida wonders where the White Ajah would fall if she could prove the Amyrlin seat has made detrimental choices. After this, Aleida reunites with Adelius, who's being escorted by an Accepted. Aleida urges the Accepted to get lost. Next, Aleida learns from Adelius about the sisters being held captive in the 13th depository. The Accepted informs Lean and Perrin that Aleida took the bait. Meanwhile, Nynaeve doesn't take too kindly to the sea. She vomits in a bucket while Elaine gives her and Mat a history lesson. They've been locked in a room on this ship for 2 weeks while en route to Tanchico. Mat proposes they go above deck. However, Elaine reminds him that part of the deal she struck with the sailmistress on this seafolk raker was that they must remain below deck. Mat ignores her, forging ahead anyway. Elaine and the seasick Nynaeve are hot on his heels. Coin din Jubai wild winds. The sailmistress approaches them. Elaine apologizes for breaking their deal. Coin makes a beeline for Nynaeve, noticing the latter vomiting over the side. She advises Nynaeve on how to alleviate the nausea. Coin allows our trio to stay above deck. Mat spies Min, who tailed them out of Tar Valon. He begs her to let him sleep in her quarters. He's beyond annoyed with Elaine and Nynaeve. Min reluctantly takes him in. Later, in the Two Rivers, Eamon asks Dane to let him question Natty Cawthon and her daughters, Bode and Eldrin. Dane rejects him again. He approaches the Cawthons, who are still trapped in a cage. He gives them water and promises the White Cloaks won't hurt them. Then Dane inquires about Perrin's whereabouts. The girls claim they haven't seen him in years. Natty surreptitiously reaches for the key to their cage while Dane is distracted. Unfortunately, he catches her, grabbing her wrist. Suddenly, one of the girls channels out of anger, sending Dane flying backward. Natty shields her daughters, claiming she was the one who channeled. Dane calls her a witch. He flings her before Eamon, telling him to have at it. Outside the White Cloaks' camp, Perrin reveals he, Bane, and Chiad will infiltrate said camp to rescue the Cawthons. Fael demands Perrin to let her tag along. Loyal will stay with the horses. Since it's a clear night, Alanna offers to channel to create cloud cover. Maxim objects to this, citing that the White Cloaks will sniff out a channeler a mile away. However, Alanna's made up her mind. After this, Maxim demands to know why they're in the Two Rivers. Alanna claims it's because he's not enough. She's now down a warder. Alanna wants to raise an army, noting that Egwene, Nynaeve, Rand, Perrin, and Mat are all from here and are extraordinary. The last battle is inevitable. Maxim believes they should track down Liandrin and kill her to avenge Ivan. Alanna turns off their bond, so he's free to leave. Elsewhere, Lan regrets not knowing much about his fallen home, Malkyr. Melindra reminds him that he was just a baby when it fell. He asks her questions about Malkyr and what she misses about it. She smiles, revealing she longs for laughter. At the same time, Rand watches as Egwene packs her belongings. The Wise Ones want her to sleep with them from now on. Rand encourages her to go. They share a kiss before she departs. Next, Lan joins Moiraine around a fire. She finally discloses what she saw in Ruidian. Thousands of futures. If Moiraine lived, Rand died. If Rand died, she lived. Regardless, Moiraine knows Rand must survive to fulfill his destiny, meaning she won't live to see the last battle. Lan embraces her. He encourages her to have a drink with him. They try Aiel Usquai, which, judging by their expressions and subsequent laughter, is quite strong. Then, on the ship bound for Tanchico, Mat spies Min's sketch of her vision of him. He's hanging from a noose before a doorway with a red frame. That's why she's following him. She hopes to prevent her vision from coming to fruition. Mat reminds her that her visions aren't always accurate. After all, he was supposed to kill Rand, and he didn't. He brushes this off. Elaine and Nynaeve return above deck to watch something spectacular. One of the seafolk channels on the bow. It looks like she's conducting as multicolored light swirls around her. Coin explains that there are many ways to be a channeler, as there are many ways to be a woman. She notes that Nynaeve struggles to touch the source. She reveals that between Elaine and Nynaeve, one fights to hold where she stands, while the other wants the sea to take her off her chosen path. Below deck, Mat introduces Min to Nynaeve and Elaine. Nynaeve recognizes her from Faldara, while Elaine knows Min from the White Tower. Min offers to help them navigate Tanchico. Plus, she knows Liandrin well. Mat reassures Nynaeve and Elaine that they can trust Min. After this, our crew finally arrives in Tanchico. Min advises them to avert their gaze. Eye contact is a big no-no. don't flash their money around, and don't talk. It's especially imperative that Elaine isn't outed as the royalty she is. Later, Aleida visits Joya and Amiko in the 13th Depository. Aleida demands to know the names of every sister in the Black Ajah. Amiko refuses to comply, so Aleida kills her. Then, she uses weaves to restrain Joya and pull on her limbs. Aleida threatens to kill her if she doesn't disclose the name she knows. Just when Joya is about to divulge that name, a gray man murders her. The gray man stabs Aleida multiple times before Siuan and Lian step in. They kill the gray man. Next, Siuan heals Aleida's wounds. She apologizes for believing Aleida is of the Black Ajah. Aleida realizes Siuan set her up. Elsewhere, Perrin, Chiad, and Bane rescue Mat's sisters. Before this, Perrin and Fael stumble upon Natty Cawthon's charred corpse. Eamon killed her. The Aiel whisk the girls away while Perrin squares off against Dane, and Fael fights two other White Cloaks. Perrin gets a stab to the gut, while Dane certainly doesn't walk away unscathed. Meanwhile, the White Cloaks launch several arrows at Alanna while she channels to create cloud cover. Maxim returns to her rescue, taking out said White Cloaks before getting an arrow to the shoulder. He cradles the wounded Alanna in his arms. Apparently, she turned their bond back on hours ago. Later, Lanfear finds Rand in his dreams. He claims he misses Celine, the inn owner from Cairhien. Lanfear claims there's part of her that still wants to help people. She also admits she still loves Rand. They kiss. Elsewhere, Moiraine asks Egwene if she can transport her to a specific location in the dream. She must deliver a message to someone. Egwene agrees to help her, so we see Moiraine travel to Siuan's childhood fishing hut in Tyr. Moiraine urges Siuan to get the White Tower to rally behind Rand. If they don't support him, he'll lose the last battle. She can't pull the same stunt she did in Cairhien. Siuan believes Moiraine should have been the Amyrlin's seat. Moiraine remarks that she makes too many enemies. Next, Siuan wishes they would have run away from the tower that day instead of going to Guitara's study. She leans in to kiss Moiraine. However, Moiraine pulls away, claiming they broke what they had. It can't be mended in this life. Siuan vows to find her in the next life. They'll try again and again until they get it right. Meanwhile, Egwene pops into her friend's dreams. She sees Nynaeve with her and Lan's daughter. Elaine is on the Sea Folk's ship with Avienda. Mat embraces his sisters before they start as novices at the White Tower. His mother tells him she's proud of him. Perrin works the forge in Emond's field with his wolf and Fael by his side. Finally, Egwene visits Rand in his dream. She smiles until she sees Lanfear kissing him. Egwene and Lanfear lock eyes. She realizes that Lanfear is the Forsaken stalking her dreams, and the latter is making out with her boyfriend.